Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Extra Time TV. This is Andres Oklao.
I'm Kevin Campbell.
And Kevin, the Hex is about to begin.
Yeah.
So we've been speaking about Trinidad and Tobago versus Costa Rica, but there's another clash in the CONCACAF region that we have to speak about. The U.S. men's national team, Klinsmann-led U.S. national team versus Mexico, a classic in its own right. Kevin, both teams announced their lineups. What do you think?
Andre, the two juggernauts of CONCACAF, the two big boys in the region.
Yes.
I mean, U.S. play Mexico. The last time they played a meaningful game was last year when Mexico beat the U.S. 3-2 and qualified for the Confed Cup in 2017. But this is a different kettle of fish. I mean, the game is being taken place in the Columbus Crew Stadium, a stadium that the U.S., that's their stronghold. Because, Andre, you know that if they were to play this game anywhere near California, Florida, or Texas, it's going to have a pro-Mexican crowd. But up in Ohio, it's 100% American.
Definitely.
And this is an encounter that the last three qualification campaigns, the U.S. beat Mexico by the score of 2-0. So U.S. fans normally say dos a cero. And that's the chance I'm sure is going to take place on Friday night. But I'm looking forward to this game because it pits Osorio against Klinsmann. Two varying styles and two coaches at different times in their reign, because Osorio pretty much has started, whilst Klinsmann has been there for what seems like an eternity now.
The Americans. Klinsmann is a guy not really loved by the American public for some reason. I'm actually a fan, even though being an Argentinian fan, liking Klinsmann is tough. But from a coaching perspective, I like what he's trying to do. We said before in other previews when we spoke about Trinidad versus the US that his project is maybe a bit too advanced. Alexi Lalas has been heavily critical. A lot of people saying bring Bradley back. Basically the guy who has a son who plays football. But anyway, so
soccer, Andre.
Yes, soccer, MLS soccer. Anyway, but I think the US are under a lot of pressure. They did well in the Copa America, and not because they can't play well, because I think unrealistic expectations are hurting the US. I think they have this illusion, and maybe it's a lack of knowledge. And I'm trying to say that to be disrespectful, but losing to Argentina when they did in the Copa Centenario is no disgrace. I mean, this is a team that's playing against the South American elites. I mean, Argentina carried a really strong team. Brazil had a really strong team. And you saw what happened to them. And then the US got pretty far. And then they lost their first game. And ended up making it out the group. So it was very impressive for me. So they're recovering. They did all right. They have never really, in my eyes, hit full stride with Klinsmann yet. I actually think if the US Federation stick with him, they will eventually see the rewards of his work. But he made an interesting statement a couple of weeks ago. Not him, but people who were speaking about Klinsmann. And they were saying that the US also have to be realistic about what they think they should get and where they are right now. And a lot of people are expecting them, Klinsmann, to transform USA into an Argentina or Brazil or Germany. And they also have to understand the raw materials they're working with. And I think Klinsmann has put together a really decent team. So we'll see. He's a guy who's very clever. USA are not blowing anybody away. In fact, they struggle with away games. So this is technically that chance for them to get 3 points. They chose the right stadium. And in terms of his lineup, Kevin, the most notable omission, I think it's down to injury, is the rapper himself, Clint Dempsey. What do you think about that?
Dempsey is not there, but I don't think it will affect the team too much. Because I look at the squad, Andre, and let's look at in goal. I saw over the weekend Tim Howard produced some great saves for the Rapids to beat the Galaxy. And I'm thinking, Tim Howard plays first team football. Brad Guzan, who Klinsmann has as his first choice, is backup at Middlesbrough to Victor Valdez. So in my opinion, Howard should get the nod. But Klinsmann has Guzan as his first choice. That can be a bit of an issue, because if your keeper isn't playing first team football and you have another one on the bench playing great football, I will play him, but I'm not Klinsmann. And looking at the squad, yes, Dempsey's not there, but the attack I see being spearheaded by Josie Altidore. And also you look at maybe Bobby Wood and Christian Pulisic around him. But the midfield is where I think that the US has a lot of experience. I mean, Michael Bradley, Jermaine Jones, that double linchpin is great. And maybe Ale Bedoya or even Sasha Kleshstein, who we previewed in the last encounter, and he scored against us, Trinidad. Maybe he can get a nod, but I don't see any problems in that part of the field. Defensively, John Brooks is a sure starter, the guy from Berlin.
Yeah.
But to partner him, maybe Matt Piesler or Omar Gonzalez is back. He's 6'6" giant guy.
He's one of the guys I actually did like, and he disappeared.
Yeah, but he's not back, so maybe Klinsmann would up for him. I'm not sure, but that's one position that Klinsmann still has to sort out going into this crunchy game against Mexico.
Yep. One of the things, speaking about the keepers, going back to the goalkeepers, he clearly likes Guzan.
Yeah.
I think Howard, I think he's probably planning for the future. The same thing I was speaking about before. Howard is definitely, I think, a better keeper than just me. Guzan is really good, by the way.
Yeah.
But I think he obviously, for whatever reason, favors Guzan. We don't know if it's disciplinary reasons. There were rumors that there was some sort. Tim Howard is a bit of a hothead.
Yeah.
We don't know how true that is. That's just speculation, and maybe that's why he planned ahead. Klinsmann clearly shows that he has no problem dropping senior players. Tim Howard, on the bench, he has to respect that. Donovan, as we saw, we all know about that sneaky return of Donovan back to LA Galaxy. I know what he's doing. You don't fool me at all. Donovan wants back in with the U.S. national team.
Yeah.
He will say no. That's what he wants. In terms of their lineup, as I said before, yes, they got a 4-0 result against Trinidad last time around, but I think it was down to just Trinidad not being focused. Because the first goal, I don't want to harp on that game too much, but it was some mistakes from Trinidad. Some very avoidable errors.
Yeah.
And a team that's focused like Mexico and very well organized and quality players, they are going to have their work cut out for them. The midfield at times blows hot and cold sometimes. Sometimes they really click and get it going.
Yeah.
But with the technical ability of the Mexicans, I could see the Americans being spread and danced around. Very much like how we said Costa Rica is probably going to do to Trinidad.
Yeah.
Hopefully not.
Ouch.
Yeah, so Klinsmann has to probably know this. And it's the first game of the Hex. They want to start over 3 points at home. So the pressure is actually on Klinsmann. I think the Mexicans are going to come in relaxed.
Yeah.
And it's maybe not necessarily down to the tactical approach. Because I think both teams know enough about each other. The US have lots of resources with analytics.
Yeah.
But I think it'll be down to a psychological thing. I think the Mexicans come in easygoing.
Yeah.
And they'll be motivated because it's USA versus Mexico. And Klinsmann is under pressure to perform. And if he loses against Mexico, whether it's fair or not, he's going to get crucified by the American media.
Yeah.
These are the same people that said Klinsmann should have won the 2014 World Cup, which is insane. So you guys need to back off Klinsmann a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
So, Kevin, I think Mexico has an interesting lineup. What do you think about the Mexican lineup?
Yes, Andre. Mexico's coach.
Osorio.
Juan Osorio. Interesting choice. But Mexico has this is the strongest Mexican team I've seen in ages.
Yep.
Because in the back, they have established guys who play in Europe at peak age. Talking about like Hector Moreno, who play for PSV, Lyon and Porto. These guys are at the top of their game fitness-wise, and they can really make a difference. That alongside the ageless Rafa Marquez at 37.
This guy's still around, and he's playing well.
Looking to play in what will be his 5th World Cup.
Yep.
Yeah, but the midfield, you have one of the best players in Europe in that position, Hector Herrera.
Yes.
But this is where, the front line, this is where I think Osorio made the biggest decision of his Mexican career. Because he has chosen the best attackers Mexico has to offer. And that hasn't been the case in years. Why? Because Carlos Vela finally makes his way back into the Mexican team. He's playing fantastic for Real Sociedad for years, but he has been on the outside looking in. So look at this lineup, Andre. Chicharito Hernandez, Carlos Vela, Gio Dos Santos, and Eusebio Peralta. That's probably the best strike force in CONCACAF and maybe in this part of the world. Really. So how he gels them, puts them together, can be really telling, because I would like to see all those players play come Friday.
Yeah, I agree with you perfectly, because before they always left out some striker, very much like Argentina in a lot of ways. For whatever reason, Chicharito was left out when he was having some great form in Germany. I really don't understand why. But you have a coach, so he's bringing out the big guns. I really like the Dos Santos brothers. Everybody speaks about Gio, but his brother at Villarreal,
Jonathan.
He has been having a great time there. It seems Villarreal is a great club to resurrect careers. Riquelme, many other players.
Pato.
Pato. I really like Villarreal and what it's done for CONCACAF players and also South American players. And I think it's done wonders for him. I'm really excited to see them link up. And the thing is, you may not even be sure if Gio might even make it in because of the. But I'm pretty sure he'll have some part to play. But this lineup looks fearsome. I think Klinsmann, whether he admits it or not, if he does the American thing, we're not scared of anyone. Definitely should be scared. This is without a doubt a very strong Mexican team. L3, basically. I think that they are going to go in the US and upset them because that team from top to bottom is technically very good. I think even though the Copa America ended pretty chaotic, I think that will have no effect on this game. I think these guys will be amped up enough because it's the US, and I think Klinsmann is going to have his hands filled because they probably may have to play a counter-attacking style of play. Unless I can't see the US dictating the play against the Mexicans, who I think are technically superior. So they may have phases where the Americans will dominate, but I think they will have to, if the US need to have a chance, they will definitely have to rely on the counter-attack, which is something people don't like. And they sort of did it against Trinidad, because if you all remember, Trinidad dominated large amounts of possession against the US. Created lots of chances, and then the US picked them off. And Klinsmann, obviously, that was a plan to exploit the spaces from Trinidad. And as soon as Kevin Jones came off, that's when the walls fell. But they're definitely not afraid to concede possession. I think that's the way Klinsmann is going to go.
I think if Pulisic starts the game, then US can probably play differently. But if he doesn't start, I think Mexico will have possession. It's like Guardado in the midfield. Close to world class, you know. And the way the game can go, as you said, the US can counter-attack, but Mexico is going to be pretty cold. It's November in Ohio. And
another factor I forgot.
So maybe the Mexicans may not be too accustomed to that, but I think that going forward, the US may get a result, but if Mexico starts and gets their foot on the ball and passing within the first 10 minutes, I see Mexico winning. So, and remember, Andre, the US, they won the last 3 hexes. They finished top, and that's a big feat in my opinion.
I mean, for years, Mexico dominated. And let's say even around 2000, after Bruce Arena left, the US have had the upper hand generally. To the point where it was so bad, Mexicans just get angry and so on. I mean, they always get angry when they lose. I mean, remember Trinidad? Woke up, Johan Tim Marshall, good one. But I think this is going to be a very close game. This is just my opinion. You know, I think it's down to not even tactics, but the psychological build of it. Even Mexico approaches the game in a positive way. I think they'll win. I think these guys are pros now. They play in Europe, a lot of these guys. So maybe the temperature is not an issue anymore. Maybe for the domestic Mexican players. But I think I think the game will play out very much like how Argentina and USA was in the Copa Centenario. Now, of course, you don't have a Messi who's going to score a ridiculous free kick, but Giovanni Dos Santos is capable of those things. You have some players that are very, very brilliant. These guys are good. So Klinsmann has to use his players wisely. He has some powerful attacking players with pace. And one area I've always seen over the years in Mexico that is always a bit of their Achilles heel is that their back four, as good as they are, they always, when they push up, they lack pace and people attack them. This back four is pretty strong. If he goes with the back four, who knows? But that's one area as well where Mexico likes to push up. And if I've seen Klinsmann, I mean, if what I've seen against the Trinidad game is true, I think that's the perfect way to unleash guys like Altidore and so on to, you know, you'll have 1-on-1 or 2 versus 1 situations. And I think these guys are more than capable of holding their own and, you know, taking those guys to the cleaners. And we'll see how it goes. So I'm really excited for this game. I mean, being a Trinidadian, I'm excited for the Trinidad game. But I really want to watch this game. So Kevin, how do you think it's going to turn out?
I see that the 2-0 scoreline is going to be no more. I see a change. For the first time in probably 4 qualification rounds, I see a change. And I'm going to go with a 2-2 draw. I don't think Mexico will win, but US will fight as hard as they can fight. So, and that's going to earn them a draw. I think it'll be technique versus grit. That's what I think. I think the US are going to come on and do the USA, the thing they love to do. USA, and Captain America and all that. But I think in the end, for me at least, I think the US will attack and do the American thing. And then eventually, if the Mexicans could weather that storm and pass them to death, I think the Mexicans will edge them in the end. I don't think it'll be a wide margin. I think it'll be a very close game. It could even be a draw, but I'm not going to do the same thing. I think the Mexicans have enough quality to hurt the US. So we'll see how that turns out. So Kevon, where can we find you? You can find me at Kev868 on Twitter and Instagram, Andre.
You can find me at Andre Soklal on Twitter and Instagram. And guys, Don't forget to like and subscribe, because when you like and subscribe our YouTube channel and also like our Facebook page, you automatically qualify for a chance to get 2 tickets for the Costa Rica versus Trinidad game coming up very soon.
Yeah.
And also a chance to win a copy of FIFA 17. So Kevin, they have to check out our preview of Trinidad versus Costa Rica.
Yes, you have to.
So guys, check it out. It will be in the link when we're done, the bumper at the end. Check it out and let us know your comments in the comment section below.
Yeah. Leave comments, as Andrew said, and leave questions, because we answer them all.
Yes.
Okay, everyone, and don't forget, if you like and subscribe our YouTube page, Extra Time TV, you instantly qualify for the opportunity to win 2 tickets to the Trinidad and Tobago versus Costa Rica on November 2016.